This is problem number 5. This is a series RLC circuit. I am writing in brief. R is given to be 4.2 ohm and L is given to be 0.03 Henry and C is given to be 450 microfarad, and the input current I is equal to 10 ampere. So you are asked to find the drop across each element. Second thing, you need to find the supply voltage, you need to find the power factor angle, so draw the vector diagram, and for all this assume F is equal to the frequency, supply frequency is equal to 50 Hertz. You can assume this. Okay. Now, as per the given data, you can draw the RLC series circuit. So this V is not known to us. This is a 50 Hertz source as per the given assumption, and we need to find this V, and we have R, L and C. R is 4.2 ohm, L is 0.03 Henry and C is 450 microfarad, and this current I is given to be 10 ampere. Now you are asked to find the drop across each element. Okay, the voltage drop across each element. Now, of course, you know that the voltage drop is nothing but I into R in the case of the resistance, and I into XL, the inductive reactance in case of the inductor, and I multiplied by XC, which is the capacitive reactance in the case of capacitor. So now, only if you are worried about, or only if you are interested to find the drop, then you don't have to consider the phase angle. So you know very well that when it comes to the inductor, the voltage across the inductor, that will be leading the current by 90 degree, whereas in the case of the capacitor, the voltage across this capacitor will be lagging the current by 90 degree. You have already done the experiment, you have constructed the phasor diagram, you know that very well. Now that is why when you actually even when you try to find the impedance, so when you try to find the impedance, and if you are also interested in the angle, we should also take that phase into consideration. So that's why when we write here, we write J into XL, and here when we write 1 by J 1, so we'll be writing minus J into XC. Now we'll start answering these questions one by one. So first of all, let's try to find the drop. So what will be the drop across R? So let's say the drop across this be VR, and let this be VL, and let this be VC. Now what will be VR? VR will be I into R. So 4.2 into 10, you will be getting around 42 volt. Similarly, what is VL? VL will be I into XL. So that is I into 2 pi F, that is nothing but omega into L. So 2 pi F into L. F is given to be 50 Hertz. F is given to be 50 Hertz. So I is 10. L is given to be 0.03. So you get 94.2 volt. In the same way, you can find VC. VC is nothing but I into XC, and you know that XC is 1 divided by omega C, so that is I divided by so how much? This is 10 to 3.14 into 50 into C is 450 microfarad. 450 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad. Now when you find this, you will get around 70.7 volt. So now we have arrived at the result of the first part. We have obtained the voltage drop across this resistance, and we have obtained the voltage drop across this inductor, and we have also obtained the voltage drop across this VL. So now it will be very easy for you to find this supply voltage, which will be nothing but the sum of these three voltage drops. Fine. So the sum of these three voltage drops will be nothing but your V. So let us try to find this. So now if you are worried about the angle part, what you must be writing, so here even the J should be there if you are actually trying to show the angle as well, which so let me see if there are any questions. What will be the net impedance of this circuit? It will be R plus J into XL minus J into XC. So actually you will be having 1 by J omega C. So multiplying and dividing by J, you will be getting minus J into XC. Now R is how much? So R is already given there in the question. Now what we are interested in, we are interested in finding V naught. So or the supply voltage. So what will be the supply voltage? This will be nothing but the current I into this Z. So I into R plus J XL minus J XC. Now we already obtained the product of IR, I into XL and I into XC. So it becomes very easy for us. 42 plus J into XL is 94.2 and XC is 70.7. So we get 42 plus 23.5 J. This will be the supply voltage, and this is actually represented in the rectangular form. You can obviously write it in the polar form. So how to write it in the polar form? This will be the magnitude 42 square plus 23.5 square. This will be the magnitude, and phase angle will be tan inverse 23.5 divided by 42. So this will be 29.22 degree, and magnitude. So you can compute this magnitude, whatever. But what are we interested in? So here we have already obtained the answer for the supply voltage. The third question that has been asked is we need to find the power factor angle. So how to get the power factor angle? We have already got it here. So this will be your power factor angle. So try to find the cos of this, you will get the power factor. Now you can also note one more thing. if you are having a circuit which has only the pure resistance and you don't have any inductor or capacitor in the circuit, what will be the power factor? The power factor, this whole term will be 0. So therefore, this will be tan inverse 1. Okay, so you'll be getting a angle. So this angle will be 0 degree. So therefore, your cos 0, it will be 1. So the pure resistive circuit in which the inductor and the capacitance are absent, you will get a power factor of 1. So I'll bring you concept in the upcoming classes. And the last part, of course, the most important part is to draw the vector diagram. First of all, let me recollect whatever we have obtained so far. Now we have obtained given data. So it is given that your I is equal to 10 ampere, which is nothing but, if you write it in polar form, this. So therefore, this angle is actually 0 degree. And if you look at the voltage drop across R, so you know very well that there is no angle part to this. This will also be 42. Fine. But this is an inductor. So this is an inductor. If you even take a look at the next page. Now, if you want to take this phase into consideration, now here, from here, if you want to write VR, this is nothing but I into R, and you have VL, that is nothing but I into XL. But if you want to take the phase also into consideration, it is J I into XL, such that the modulus of this will be I into XL, but the phase of this will be tan inverse IXL divided by 0. So that will be how much? 90 degree. If you want to write it in the magnitude phase form or the polar form, this is how you need to write it. Similarly, for VC, it will be minus JXC into I. This can be further written as XC into I minus 90 degree. Now, using this only, I am actually going to draw the phasor diagram. This is the information required for me to draw the phasor diagram. So this equation, right? Okay. So as I told you, if you are worried only, or if you are interested only the reactance, the inductive reactance. Okay. So if you are worried about only the inductive reactance, so this is your impedance. Okay, I'm talking about only the inductor. Let's leave aside the resistor and the capacitor. But again, in the case this XL is nothing but what? 2 pi F into L, and this is your capacitor, and the impedance of this capacitor will be how much? 1 by omega C. So that is nothing but 1 by 2 pi F into C. Now, I have also told you that I'm not discussing that entire derivation. So ideally what I must be doing, I must be actually considering a sinusoidal voltage source here, then I must be considering a capacitance here, and I must be actually writing this current I, let's say this is V. So I should be writing this equation. Now from there I will be able to establish that the voltage across this capacitance VC will be lagging the I by 90 degree. Okay, so this thing you would have observed it in the lab also in the same way. If you talk in terms of the inductor. Let's say the same thing I do for the inductor. I have the current I. Okay, so in this case, the voltage across this L will be leading the current I by 90 degree. So when you actually draw the phasor diagram for this, it will be, this will be I and this will be VL. This will be 90 degree. Fine. And even in this case, if you draw the phasor diagram, this will be now this will be VC and this will be I. So this will be 90 degree. Fine. So VC is actually lagging I by 90 degree. Now we need to how to show this mathematically. Of course, I can show it mathematically if I write this XC in this form, that is 1 by j omega c. Now multiplying and dividing by j, you get what? Minus j, because j into j it will be minus 1 minus j divided by 2 pi f into c. This is nothing but minus j into xc. Okay, so magnitude will be xc, and if you find the phase of this, this will be tan inverse xc minus xc divided by 0, that is nothing but minus 90 degree. Fine. So the total impedance, if you see here, you have this R, L and C in Z series in the circuit. So we have R, L and C in series in the circuit. So actually I am adding these three impedances. Now if you want to take the phase also into consideration, so in this case it will be J into XL, this will be minus J into XL. Start with I and VR will be in phase. So I as well as VR will be in phase. And how will be VL? VL will be, so it will be leading, but VC it will be, so this will be VC, this will be VL. Now if you want to subtract VL minus VC, so because even that expression, so how will we write VL? V0 is nothing but I into R plus J XL minus XC. Now when I expand this, I can write it is VR plus J into VL minus VC. Now if I want to actually write represent this term, that is J into VL minus VC, so I have to actually subtract this VL from VC, which I will get, I will use a different color. Sorry for this. So this will be my VL minus VC. Okay. Now how to find V0 or how to represent V0 here? It is nothing but the phasor sum of VR and J into VL minus VC. Now this will be my V0. This, so what will this representation indicate? Now this is nothing but VR plus J into what? This is VL. In the same way, now in the same way this will be what? So this will be your this term VR minus J into VC. VR minus J into VC. So what does this minus J indicate? This minus J actually indicates this minus 90 degree. Now what will be this angle? This also we have actually computed because we have obtained this tan inverse VL minus VC. So there is a delay in writing VR. So what we have already obtained this. So what is it? So we have already computed this angle here in the previous step. This angle, sorry, not here. So we have already obtained this angle 29.22 degree. So otherwise also you can find out because you know this is theta. So if you want to find tan theta, it will be nothing but this VL minus VC divided by VR. So if you take then the theta will be nothing but tan inverse of VL minus VC divided by VR. So either way you can find this out. So one more problem. Problem number 6. Now the question is a series RL circuit. It has R is equal to 25 ohm. XL is equal to 32 ohm. So directly the inductance value is not given. So the inductive reactance is given. You may have to determine the inductance. Now this RL series circuit, it is connected in parallel to a capacitor of 100 microfarad, and this whole combination. So, and this whole combination is connected across a 200 volt 50 hertz supply. So the first thing that you need to find out is, so basically there will be two branches. See, I have clearly mentioned here. So there will be a branch in which there will be a series RL combination, and in another branch you will have the capacitor. So you need to find the current in each branch. Then draw the vector diagram showing the total current. So draw the vector diagram showing the total current. So let us try to solve this. Now as per the given input, I can draw the diagram. So first is a RL combination, RL, but this L is not directly given, XL is given, and this is connected in parallel to a capacitor. And what am I doing? So combination of this is connected across a 200 watt 50 hertz supply. So this is 200 watt 50 hertz supply. So C is given to be 100 microfarad, R is given to be 25 ohm and XL is given to be 32 ohm. Let us say that this current I1 flows through this branch and the current I2 flows through the branch containing the capacitor. So this will be the current I which gets divided here, I1, I2. So first of all, let us try to find out the current I1. To find that current I1, we already know the supply voltage. We already know the supply voltage, but we must be knowing the impedance of this. So by dividing the supply voltage with the impedance, we will be able to get the current I1. Now, for the branch 1, the impedance Z1 is given as the magnitude of the impedance. The magnitude of the impedance will be what? It will be root of R square. XL is already given 32 square. So if you find out, this will be 25 square, R square plus XL square. So that is root of 25 square plus 32 square. You must be getting around 0.06 ohm. And phase angle of your branch 1 impedance. So what will be the phase angle? The phase angle will be nothing but tan inverse. So the combination is R plus J into XL, that for the branch 1. So this will be tan inverse XL by R. We know XL, we know R, so it will be tan inverse 32 by 25. You get around 52 degree. Now, how to find the current flowing through the RL branch? So this will be the same voltage to 200 volt. It will be appearing across the capacitor as well as the RL combination. So it will be 200 phase angle 0 degree divided by whatever you have here. So this was okay, so there is a blunder here. So this must be, so you can check this calculation, 40 points. Must be getting around 40.6 ohm. So this impedance will be 40.6 ohm. This is required for me to find the current I1. So now 200 divided by 40.6, you will be getting around 4.93, and this phase angle you can simply subtract. This is 0 degree minus 52 degree, so it will be 4.93 and the phase angle will be minus 52 degree. So this is about I1. And what about I2? So what about I2? So I2 will be nothing but V divided by XC, and we already know it is what will be XC? XC will be 1 divided by 2 pi F into C, and C is given as 100 microfarad. So C is given to be 100 microfarad, and F is given to be 50 hertz. So all the data is available to us. So when you find, you will be getting around 200 divided by, and what will be the phase angle? So as you note, this is a purely capacitive network. So it will be a purely capacitive network. So it will be actually J into XC. So this phase angle will be, sorry, minus J into XC. So the phase angle will be minus 90 degree. So you must be getting around 31.85. So here the phase angle is 0 degree, and this will be minus 90 degree. So ultimately you will be getting 6.279. So we have already obtained the magnitude as well as the phase angle of I1 and I2. Now it will be very easy to find IT, which is nothing but I1 plus I2. But if you want to find IT total, it will be much more easy if you can actually convert this into rectangular form. So how to convert this into rectangular form? This is 4.93 r theta. So it is r cos theta plus j sin theta. Cos of minus 52 degree plus j sin 52 degree into your 4.93. This will be minus 52 degree. So cos minus, this will be 4.93. Cos of minus theta will also be cos theta minus j sin 52 degree. So in the same way, you can also write this in the rectangular form. So that is 6.279 cos plus j sin. Now to find IT, you can simply add I1 and I2, add the real part separately, and you can add the imaginary part separately. So you'll be getting you can check this calculation, 3.04 plus j into 2.39 expressing this in polar form, root of 3.04 square plus 2.39 square, tan inverse 2.39 by 3.04, so you must be getting 38.17 degree. This will be 3.86, 38.17 degree. So now I have this information available to me. So this is my IT, and I already know I1 and I2. So in the previous step, I have obtained I1 and I2. Now, as you note here, in the case of I1, the phase angle is minus 52 degree, and in the case of I2, the phase angle was how much? 90 degree. Okay, so with this information, I can draw the vector diagram. So first of all, we know that so this is your supply voltage, 200 volt supply voltage. And if you compare the angle between this V and I, so we obtain the angle of I1. This was how much? This was minus 52 degree. So your I1, and we also obtain that in the case of I2, which is the current that is flowing through the capacitive network. So here, this is your I2. This angle is 90 degree. And then what is IT? So in the case of IT, this is nothing but the phasor sum of I2 and I1. So let me try to obtain the phasor sum of this. So now this will be the current IT, which is nothing but I1 plus I2. And what will be this angle? So this also we had computed, and this angle, if you look at the previous page, it was 38.17 degree. And here again you will notice that you notice one thing, that the current here that is flowing through the pure capacitor is actually leading the voltage across it by 90 degree. This is the same thing which I actually when I was answering his question, I had drawn it in this way, VCI. So it's the same. In the case of a pure capacitive network, the current I is actually leading VC by 90 degree. The same you can observe here even in this diagram. Now the last problem, I will try to complete this and then I will try to answer if there are any questions. Circuit, parallel RLC circuit. You have a resistance R of 10 ohm, inductor L of maybe 150 millihenry, and a capacitor of 100 microfarad are connected parallelly across a 50 volt 50 hertz source. Now you need to find the branch current and also find the total current. Find the branch current and the total current. Now, based on the given data, let me draw the circuit diagram. So I have a R, L, C parallel combination, and this is given to be by 10 ohm, 150 millihenry, and 100 microfarad. So this is connected to a 50 volt 50 hertz source. So let's take this current to be I, which gets divided to I1, I2 and I3. Now we need to find what is I1, what is I2, I3, and we should also find the total current. It becomes very simple because this is 50 volt, phase angle will be 0 degree. To find I1 is nothing but 50 phase angle 0 degree divided by 10. Now here obviously the phase angle is 0, so this will be 5 ampere. What will be I2? Now this is a pure inductive network. We know that if you are the phase angle, you will be writing it to be 90 degree. So first of all, your V will be again same 0 degree, and what will be the phase angle? So it will be J into XL. So in this place of J, I am putting 90 degree, and what will be XL? XL will be 2 pi F into L. So this is 2 pi, F is 50 into L is 150 millihenry, which means how can I convert this to Henry? It is nothing but 0.15 Henry. So I will get this to be 1.062, and 0 minus 90 will be getting minus 90 degree. The same way, how will I get I3? And I3, the supply voltage is this much, and this is a pure capacitive network. So if you see here, this is a pure capacitive network. So here the voltage will be lagging the current by 90 degree. So that means that I can write my XC to be 1 divided by 2 pi F into C. All these are given. You can refer, and this will be minus 90 degree. So 0 minus of minus 90 degree. So this will be 50 divided by whatever you get here. You get 1.573. This will be 90 degree. Now to find 0.062 minus 90 degree, and this was how much? 1.573 plus 90 degree. Okay. So now if you can express this in rectangular form, it will be easy for you to add. So this will be 5 itself. If you try to express this in rectangular form, this will be in the place of minus 90. You will have, so you can write 1.062 cos minus 90 degree plus j sin minus 90 degree. You will be getting minus j 1.062. Similarly here you will be getting 1.573 j. So it is 5 plus 0.5 j ampere You can express this in polar form. Get 5.026 face angle tan inverse 0.511 divided by 5, you get 5.84 degree. Now how to draw the phasor diagram? You know that I1, it has phase angle 0 degree. What about I3? In the case of I3, the phase angle was plus 90 degree. And in the case of I2, the phase angle was minus 90 degree. Now, if you want to express this in the phasor diagram, so you know that this part is what? This is your I2, right? And this is your I3. So this is ultimately, and this is your I1. So this is ultimately I1 plus j into I3 minus I2. Now, so this will be I3 and this will be I2. And if you see the magnitude also, I3 has a higher magnitude than 1.062. That's why I have actually drawn this to be long and this to be slightly short, so that this will be your I3 minus I2. So if you want to find I1 plus j into I3 minus x2, I3 minus I2, this will be the I1 plus j into I3 minus I2. And this angle will be how much? 5.84 degree. And here I have not, these angles are not up to the scale, as well as these magnitudes are also not up to the scale, but this marking is important. So I have not accurately calculated this angle and drawn. So anyway, it's getting very much late. You can, Gudu can stay back and others can